While the media, politicians, for some odd reason, are bent on constantly sharing bad news or maybe even creating frightening, scaring news. Not sure what the purpose of theirs is, but I will not start going into political discussions. That's certainly not what I intend to do. But I do want to share with you good news, wonderful news. And the news is as follows. Just came across a news item that in Australia, they're slowly starting to reopen up while it was hermetically closed. The latest numbers that seem to come out from Eretz Yisrael in terms of the COVID-19, one day apparently, maybe yesterday, I'm not sure what day, out of 20,800 tests, 560 came back positive. The severely sick people is down to slightly over 500. Now, may they all have a total refuah shalema, obviously. We're not content with the fact there is only 500. It's 500 plus too many. And in general, the mortality rate around the world, even by those who are affected, is extremely lower than in the past. It seems like even b'derech hateva, naturally, they're getting a better handle on the situation. They know better how to take care of it. Talking about the medical field. So this is good news. Not perfect, for sure not, but it is definitely good news. Now, let us look at another world event which we don't hear too much, again, because of political reasons, especially to our neighbors in the south. What's happening in Israel? Lately, there is a breakout of peace. We always used to be afraid of breakout of war. But now there's a breakout of peace. United Arab Emirates, new rabbis, a shliach officially there. They opened a kosher restaurant apparently, high class. By the way, Chabad has been there already for the last 6-7 years. Sudan, Bahrain. Rumor has it there is another lineup of between 5 and 10 other countries ready to sign peace agreements, including Qatar, including Saudi Arabia, and so on. And these are beautiful events. And this is peace not coming from war that we had in the past, but of simple interest of starting to live in friendship. And maybe we'll discuss this tomorrow, if God forbid we're still in exile. But I do want to point out something which is quite fascinating as to why these things seem to be happening these days. We're in the month of Cheshvan. And the month of Cheshvan is a very special month. And here is a Yalkut Shimoni, a Medrash in Melachim, where it says the following: that the first Beis Hamikdash that Shlomo Melech built actually was finished after 7 years building in the month of Cheshvan. God waited till the following year of Tishri to do the inauguration because he wanted to do it in the month that Avraham Avinu was born. And the Medrash continues and says that really a similar event happened with the Mishkan in the desert. The construction of the Mishkan completed in the month of Kislev. But God waited till the month of Nisan to do the inauguration because that's the month that Yitzchak was born. And the Medrash says, so Kislev was left out. So God said, I will recompense it by giving them the inauguration of Chanukah, which also means inauguration, with the miracle of the Chashmonoim, Yehuda Maccabee, and the story that we know. So the month of Kislev was given a special holiday. And the Medrash continues the following. But the same thing is also true with Cheshvan. Cheshvan was gypped, that it wasn't, in the first Beis Hamikdash, it wasn't inaugurated then, yet waited, as we said earlier, till Tishri for the birth of Avraham Avinu, says the Medrash. V'chein ma Cheshvan asid HaKadosh Baruch Hu l'shalem loy. God will pay back. God will compensate the month of Cheshvan in the future. How? that in the month of Cheshvan, the final and third Beth Hamikdash will be built. Month of Cheshvan is a beautiful month. So what we're seeing today is the continuation of the process and hopefully the final step of the coming of Mashiach. All this comes after the month of Tishrei, of all the wonderful mitzvot that everybody has participated in. It is coming further with the whole pandemic that we all recognize the existence of God. The Aleph, the one, the oneness. Aleph, which is representing God. We have obviously introduced the belief in the one God, the belief in the Aleph during this whole period of time. So my friends, this is the good news. Let's look forward to the imminent rebuilding of the Beis Hamikdash Hashlishi in this month of Cheshvan, but not at the end. Today would be perfect, the 10th day of the month.